Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ring the Bell. This is a Macho Fan production, and I am your host, the Macho Fan. This is the wrestling game show where the points don't matter and the prize is bragging rights. Today, we will have 4 wrestling creators, and they will compete in 3 rounds in debate-style topics and receive points for good points and lose points for backtracking or ridiculousness. Now, let's meet our contestants. This first contestant hails from Georgia. He was a former wrestler. Now he's a full-time streamer and podcaster and the leader of his own army. Please welcome HeelKevin.
Let's go! One tiny fix. I did get back in the ring recently. I'm a wrestler
And
once
now
again.
he's back in the ring again. I don't think he's undefeated, though. Is he undefeated still?
I lost a battle royal, but
That's
that was about it.
That's not losing. So we still going to be trying.
Okay, then there we go.
Trying to
There
keep
we
that
go.
winning up in the win column. And playing number 2 is on his way to a kid's soccer game, playing from Boise, Idaho. Please welcome Big Mike.
Trust me, I'm forklift certified.
He's forklift certified. So keep your eye on that screen and make sure there is no illegal motions. And coming in number 3 from the mean streets of Philly, now basking in the Florida sun, this man keeps it old school. Give it up for the Phoenix King.
Yo, what's up?
And
How you doing?
how's it going? How's it going? Thank you for joining us. And finally, we have your favorite wrestling's TikToker's favorite TikToker representing the Pandas Wrestling Company. He has Russell Endor's Monday Night Raw. It's WrestleMania.
Look, I wore the phenomenal one because I just want to tell you guys, you don't want none. You guys don't want none.
You're wearing
Scared.
pajama pants, bro.
All right. It seems like they're all.
Although extra points for the Guts trophy in the background.
Oh, yeah. He's got that aggro crag and he's ready to climb this mountain. Now, let's get into it. The first round, each guest will have 30 seconds to respond to 3 different wrestling headlines from the week. Are you guys ready? I will call on you guys at random, so just be ready when you are. Let me get the timer set up. And timer on the clock. And HeelKevin, you're going to go first. And this is the initial thoughts on WWE's New Regime reaching out to AEW talent. And you have 30 seconds, begins now.
I think it's a really smart idea because a lot of the people in AEW right now, or at least some of the former WWE guys, left because they weren't happy with their situation, and reaching out to them, not necessarily trying to say, hey, abandon your contract, come back to us, but letting them know that things are going to be different, letting them know that different people are in charge, letting them know that their voices are going to be heard and there are plans moving forward. I think that puts a lot of reassurances in and possibly gets these guys to come back.
All right. Great work. That's right on the time. 30 seconds is up right there. And let's go to Big Mike. 30 seconds on the clock. Your time begins now.
I think it's amazing that they are. I think what everybody has to keep in mind is that everything we've thought about WWE over the last 20 years or however long with Vince in charge, everything's changed with Triple H now and Paul and his whole regime. Everything has changed. I'm excited for the future. I think that it's a great thing that they're reaching out because I think it's a bigger platform, and that pure wrestling thing that we wanted from WWE is finally back, I think.
All right. Good points there. Good points there. Now let's go over to Russell's Mania.
You know, I tend to be cautious whenever I approach new situations. And yes, Triple H is there. He's changing the way things are done. But I still want to see what happens a year from now. Right now, AEW's in flux, WWE's in flux right now. Yet it might be great to work for Triple H for the time being, but we don't know what the landscape's going to be in the next year. I would just say, if I'm a wrestler, look, Triple H approaching me, I might just keep my eye on the product before I actually make any guarantees.
All right. Good points right there. Keeping the eye on the product. I'm sorry for that timer. That is going to need to change in the future. And now let's go to PK, the Phoenix King. You got 30 seconds.
Flavor Flav, I don't trust it. Honestly, because, you know, Triple H is no angel. And quite frankly, I would like it where it's not a monopoly like WWE's been the big time for so long. I like to see AEW grow and progress, and them plucking their stars from that company is similar to what they did in WCW back in the day and ECW. So it'd be nice to see them grow and see what potential they have before WWE takes them out.
All right, great points all around. All right, thank you guys for the first topic. Now we're going to get into the second topic there. After this round, I will fill you in on all your points, but everyone is making good points. They can see it on our screen here as we're getting through there. Big Mike, you are going to start off the next one, and we are going to be going over Saraya. Saraya did return at AEW this week, but she is not medically cleared. What do we expect her role to be? 30 seconds.
She is Tony Khan's chance to solidify his division with a big name star. It didn't happen with any of the other females he's brought over, including Ember Moon. And I think it's kind of a desperation reach for him. I mean, she's not medically cleared. We know she has a history. I don't think it's a good look, honestly. And I think it's, once again, Tony Khan just trying to reach out to former WWE stars and trying to make something that's not there.
All right, good points there. All right, Kevin. To you.
Okay, I was waiting for the timer to start. So first off, I don't consider Paige to be a former WWE talent, only because WWE had kind of given up on her. They let her, they had no plans for her. So it's not like they kind of just plucked her out of the roster. So I want to start there. I think Paige instantly adds credibility to the women's division, whether it be competitor or backstage. She adds a level of legitimacy, a level of knowledge that they don't have. Their women's division is clearly their weakest division, and I think Paige can help fix that in a big way, regardless of what her role is.
Good points there. Good, even at the buzzer. That got you a couple extra there. Good job on that one. All right, now we're going over to PK.
All right, I definitely think Paige adds a notoriety that they didn't have before, some legitimacy. She is who she is, and everybody knows who she is. That's why she made a big splash. And I think whether she's in the ring or managing or whatever they have her doing, I think she's gonna bring eyes to the product. I think it's a good move personally.
All right, and let's go over to Russell.
Just because you can bring Saraya into your company doesn't necessarily mean you have to bring Saraya into your company. I feel the problem with the women's division is just the fact that you have talented women, but the storylines, that booking is weak. Saraya comes in, even if she's a manager, who is she going to manage right now? There's plenty of people that need a mouthpiece, but I don't feel, even by her own standards, she's a great mouthpiece. I wish that Tony would just focus on booking rather than focus on the big shiny spoon in front of him.
Interesting points there. I do like the playing the devil's advocate. All right, now we're going to our final topic of round one, and this is going to start with Phoenix King. All right, so PK, with the fallout of AEW's media scrum, will CM Punk return, or will there be a contract buyout? 30 seconds. It begins now.
I want him to come back. I'm a CM Punk guy, but I don't think he will, because he doesn't need to. I feel like he has enough money, and I feel like overall his trust is broken in how they do things backstage. Antics, politics, whatever you want to say. I wasn't really a fan of how he went off. I don't really think it was that professional, but at the same time, I respect him keeping it real and saying what he had to say. So I don't think he'll be back.
All right, Kevin. 30 seconds.
First off, I never want to see CM Punk in another wrestling ring again. I don't want him to come back. I do not like CM Punk. Never liked CM Punk. Just gonna go and throw that out there. However, with the media scrum, I put this completely on Tony Khan. Tony Khan had numerous times to stop this. When Adam Page did the deal, when he did his first promo, he could have stopped there like, "Hey, Page, why'd you say that stuff?" When CM Punk came back in his first night back, he took shots at Adam Page like, "Hey, we squashed this. Why is it still going?" And then the entire time Punk was going off, Tony Khan was endorsing and agreeing with everything he said. This is Tony Khan's fault.
Tony Khan. All right. That is very interesting to put, it's very true. He owns the company. Why not put it on him? Big Mike, what do you think?
I have to agree with Kevin a little bit. I don't want to see CM Punk back in the ring. I would like to remember him from. I think there will be a buyout, but I think it's for and try to finally give him that one thing that he's always desired, and that's that.
And that
Tony Khan
is the flows of trying to play from a high school soccer game. But
Do
did
you
lose
want
a
to
little
let
bit
him
of
do
you
that
might.
again?
Yeah, we lost a little bit of that.
Did I freeze up?
No,
I'm
it's all
sorry.
good. It just lost you a couple points, but it's okay because the points don't matter. And so, but we are going to get into Russell. Russell, last one for 30 seconds. Fallout from media. We'll see CM Punk return.
Let's go Russ the bus.
When CM Punk signed with the company, what did he point to? He pointed to how they treated the entire Brody Lee situation, how they kept it close and not break it out. His trust is broken at this point. I don't think there is any need for him to come back to AEW. I think personally, having seen him at Forbidden Door in front of Chicago, that's good for me. I don't think, you can trust Tony Khan, but even with that being said, I do believe that CM Punk isn't going to put up with it anymore. I think we've seen the final days of CM Punk, and it's probably all Tony's fault.
All right. Well, there we go. We looks like we have some agreement there and where to put the blame on. And maybe he can come back, maybe he will not. But that is the end of round one. And let's go over our scores. Coming in a tie, it looks like, for first place is HeelKevin and Russell's Mania with 11 points.
Yeah!
Big Mike has 3 points. Sorry about that cutout. And then the Phoenix King coming in with 8 points, so not too far behind. All right, we're going to take a short minute break, and then we'll be back with round two. And welcome back. We just had our first round and we have a tie for the first place. So now let's get into the second round, which is going to be buying and selling of matchups. Now, this second round, each guest has 30 seconds to buy or sell the different matches or storylines from this previous week. Are we ready, contestants?
Yep.
All right.
Solid.
We're going to start with our last place contender, which is Big Mike. Big Mike, we're going to start with Jericho winning the ROH Championship. Are you buying or selling this?
I'm selling. I love Jericho, but he's almost getting the Flair effect of staying around too long. I thought Claudio Castagnoli should have kept it. I thought that maybe rivalry with Samoa Joe would have been good. I didn't understand it. I mean, I guess you give it to him just because he's a legend and he needs number 8, but I'm definitely selling this one.
All right. And let's go over to PK. PK, 30 seconds begins now.
Yeah, I'm selling it. I don't want nothing to do with it. I don't trust it, and I probably couldn't sell it to a crackhead if it was dipped in crack. Quite frankly, the legacy of ROH is very, very dear to me. I went to ROH shows, represented, and I feel like Jericho needs to sit down somewhere. He's an old man.
All right. And Kevin.
You know, I'm selling it as fast as I possibly can. I think the ROH title is meant to, cut the teeth of Claudio Castagnoli, eventually Daniel Garcia, and guys like that who are still coming up. A guy like Ricky Starks, that kind of talent who could carry the brand. I know they're not necessarily underneath the ROH banner, but ROH being under AEW, we could see some crossover. We've seen it before. I don't think Jericho does anything for this title. I really don't. And Jericho has clearly lost a step since his glory days, unless Tony Khan is trying to build this. Oh, we have our flair. We're going to make him a 16-time world champion. I don't see the point.
All right. Good points there. Now, Russell.
I guess as the resident Chris Jericho fan, I have to buy it. And I'm going to use an example. When AEW had its first meeting outside Jacksonville, who showed up? Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho sold you on that company because he's a trusted name. That trusted name managed to get them a TV contract. Fast forward to now, ROH needs a television home. You need somebody that can carry the weight. ROH putting the title on Chris Jericho, I think it actually helps out the brand. It gives you name recognition, and it actually is going to help bring more people to the product.
Interesting points. All right, now let's get right back into it with our next topic. We are going to be buying and selling the AEW Elimination Championship Tournament. The finale, Jon Moxley defeats Bryan Danielson, becoming a 3-time AEW champion. We're going to stick with Russell. Russell, are we buying or selling this tournament?
I guess you have to buy, but I really don't like the situation that we're in. I think everybody's in agreement. Jon Moxley is a transitional champion going forward, as CM Punk's probably going to be put on top. And I mean, I'll say this, with that tournament, there could have been better big names. Your company's 3 years old. How come you don't have a Jungle Boy in there? How come you don't have a Max Caster, a relatively new name out there? Jon Moxley works for the time being, especially against MJF, but I really do feel that Tony Khan lost the perfect situation to put somebody else over.
All right, interesting points. All right, we're going to move over to HeelKevin. HeelKevin, 30 seconds.
Macho Fan, I'm going to go and sell it. And I'm going to go back to a show that you and I did almost a year and a half ago. We were kind of talking about what AEW was doing right. They were building long-term champions. They were building a lineage. There wasn't this quick turnover rate. And I think with the return of MJF and him holding that chip, whoever won that match is just holding a place for MJF to come in and become champion. They're kind of going back on something they were doing so well with Jericho, with Mox, with Omega, these long-term champions. For the first year, we've had 3 champions, and now we've almost doubled that. I'm selling.
All right. Good points on that one right there. I do remember that going back to those shows, and we definitely talked about this over a year ago, and it's still something that's happening. But Big Mike, how we feeling?
I gotta go along with the trend, and I gotta sell it, but I gotta sell it for another reason. I completely understand trying to put somebody new in, and I agree with that. But I think if we're talking about people that deserve it, why not Daniel Bryan? I think that guy's been through so much. He's a great in-ring competitor. I don't understand giving it to Mox again, especially with the whole CM Punk thing that just happened. I think you want to distance yourself from that. And I think the best way they could have done that is by giving it to Daniel Bryan and then having him set up with one of the younger guys, a Ricky Starks, one of those guys, in order to get it to the next level.
All right, and PK, final one.
I'm going to sell. And I just want to harp on the fact that Bryan Danielson, one of the greatest, if not the greatest, ROH champions in the past. I think him having that title would take it up to another notch. I love the way he came in and was, cracking heads and cracking skulls. I think that Mox doesn't really need it, you know what I mean? And I feel like it will be a good transition to see his style as opposed to Mox with, how he's hardcore, whatever you want to say, brawler. I like to see a wrestler get it.
All right, good points there. Good points. All right, now we're going to go into our third matchup of the week, and we're going to go over to Big Mike. Big Mike, it is Karrion Kross and Drew McIntyre, and they are in a major feud right now where Karrion Kross's Scarlett Scarlett Bordeaux threw a fireball at Drew McIntyre, and now they are going to be in a strap match at Extreme Rules. Are we buying or selling this feud?
If I could buy this 5 times over, I would. I love this. Karrion Kross should have got this push from the beginning. And I like the fact that they're going to an Extreme Rules match with the strap match, kind of a throwback to those old NWA days, which I love. I'm an old purist like that. I love Karrion Kross's angle. I love what they're doing with this. This is why I trust the Triple H regime, is because he's doing stuff that we've wanted to see. We just didn't know we wanted to see it, right? Drew McIntyre had kind of become a little bit bland. Let's be honest. I know he's a great in-ring talent, but there wasn't a lot to do with him. And so now you're putting him up against like Karrion Kross. I love it.
All right. Good points. Good points right there. And now we're going to move over to Russell.
You know, I love it. As Big Mike said, this is the Karrion Kross we all want to see. This is the Karrion Kross with Scarlett back there being the woman that she can be. Look, this match is going to help out those fans who are just tired of the Roman Reigns hype train. They want a throwback to real hardcore, not real hardcore wrestling, but a good match, a good book match. I think you get it from this situation.
All right. And then HeelKevin. And give me 1 second here. Let me get these clocks reset. All right. HeelKevin, your time starts now.
Macho Fan, take my money. Take every penny I have. Take my life savings, take my kids' college fund. I don't care. Take all of it. I love what they're doing. I love the position that Karrion Kross is placed in. I love how they've revised this edgier side of Drew. And when we talked about going forward and looking at Roman, you know, the old saying, forged in fire. They are forging contenders in fire. A strap match, you expect Extreme Rules. You expect a ladder match. You don't expect a strap match. That's what we're getting. Forge the contenders in fire and let them go.
All right, I do like that. Yes, forged in fire. And PK for the final 30 seconds.
All right. First off, I just want to say it doesn't matter which one of these guys win or lose. They're all going to acknowledge Roman Reigns at the end, so it really doesn't matter. I think for business, it's
Here
good.
we go.
I've never been a Karrion Kross guy. I just don't get it. Whatever. He's a good contender. Drew, I think they kind of dipped him in ruin with him coming out like He-Man with that sword, and he loses a world title, and he's singing these idiots in the stands. Like, I think there's a way to have a face be edgy and keep their edge without looking like an idiot. And I think WWE needs to work on that. But it should be, good business for the tribal chief to.
Oh, come on.
All right. So there we go. Some interesting points there. So maybe playing to the tribal chief, acknowledging it. But hey, we were going to get back into it.
Is tribal chief scoring the game by chance? I just need to know.
Well, we're going to keep on talking about this.
He's hoping for that new
We're going to keep
t-shirt.
talking about the tribal chief, and we're going to start this round with HeelKevin. Now, HeelKevin, the tribal chief does have his new opponent, and it's Logan Paul at Crown Jewel for the WWE Universal Undisputed Heavyweight Championship. Are we buying or selling this feud?
Dude, I'm totally buying it. Everybody wants to hate on Logan Paul simply because he's Logan Paul. The man's got a great show. He's had 2 solid matches. He outperformed Pat McAfee at SummerSlam. Fight me. I don't care what anybody says. And the Saudi prince specifically asked for Logan Paul. I think obviously Roman's going to win. We know that. But this is going to put Logan Paul in the fire. It's going to forge him in fire once again. This is going to make him step up to the plate, and it's really going to show us if Logan Paul really wants to do this or if he's just holding a spot. I'm for it.
All right, good points. Now let's move over to PK.
We're serious. My bad. Logan Paul. You know what? I'd rather see you, Kevin, take on Roman Reigns and Logan Paul. Can we just be serious? I can't take this dude seriously. Granted, he's good athletically. He can do a match. A lot of people can, do it in the ring, but will he hold interest in, for the long term? No, he's just another, putty for, shout out to, you get the reference.
So lucky I don't have 10 more seconds.
All right, well, we're going to keep moving along. Big Mike, are we buying or selling Roman and Logan?
I'm at my 12-year-old daughter's soccer game right now with my 14-year-old son here as well. I'm buying it for them. And here's why. When we were growing up, we had Hogan to look at. He was a multimedia star. Multimedia stars are completely different now. This is roping in an audience that Triple H wants that is going completely over the top. My kids are finally excited about wrestling. I'm buying it because he's not terrible in the ring. He's great in the ring, as everybody says. I think it brings in a new audience, and I think it's great. I buy it.
All right, interesting. And then we got Russell. 30 seconds.
Look. I feel this is a ploy to get the casual fan back. And I mean, yes, Logan Paul is the shiny spoon that can bring it back. But if I'm a hardcore wrestling fan, first of all, I hate going to Saudi Arabia to watch wrestling. Second of all, if I'm gonna have to watch a match, I want it to be worth my time. I can already tell you the Logan Paul match is gonna be 5 minutes long. Why should I care about that type of match story? I think we could push more other people. We could put Roman in a tag team match. Logan doesn't need to be there.
Yep.
All right. So, and now we are going to start with PK, and we are going to our final buying or selling of round 2. And this was quite a surprise. Now with the Triple H era, Survivor Series has been announced with 2 War Games matches. Are we buying or selling Survivor Series with War Games? PK.
I'm buying, but I'm buying because I'm old school. You know what it is. Now, granted, I'm not up Triple H's backside like everybody else is, and beholding him as he can do no wrong. Let's wait and see. He might be more open to doing different things than Vince, but his track record isn't squeaky clean either. But neither here nor there. I'm excited to see it. I think it'll be a good change, and it'll be good creatively to use some of the talent that they haven't been using or hasn't have a spotlight.
All right, perfect. And now let's move over to Big Mike. Big Mike, 30 seconds.
Hey, I'm going along with my old school partner, PK. I'm buying this 100 times over. I love War Games. I've watched it since it was originally in the Orange Bowl before it was on pay-per-view when it was on closed circuit TV. I love it. I think it's tailor-made for those next generations like Braun Breaker. Bring him up. I mean, heck, his uncle and dad were in the match. I think there's a lot of opportunities to do a lot of cool stuff right here. Even if you do a women's one, I would love to see that. I think this is just great.
All right, and HeelKevin.
I'm still very angry from the last round. I just want to go and throw that out there. I'm glad that the guy who supports Rocky Top is smart. But anyway, I'm buying it. Absolutely buying it. The only thing I can't get behind is I'm never going to get as excited about War Games without William Regal screaming, "War Games!" I need that in my life. But I think this is Survivor Series has been the stalest of the big 4, and this is a way to revive it and reposition it as our big 4. This is a great way to do it. I can't wait to see who's in it, and I'm glued to the screen.
All right, good points there. And then finally, Russ.
What about tradition, guys? Tradition. We had Survivor style matches at Survivor Series. Who will be the lone survivor? That is what Survivor Series is all about. And yes, I understand nobody liked the brand versus brand outfit, but at the same time, I don't feel having War Games in Survivor Series is ever going to solve that issue. I want that old school Survivor Series match. I don't even care. Give it to me in a pre-match, and I will buy it. But if you're not going to even do that, I'm selling it.
All right. And that was the end of round 2. And we do have a very close tie between the first and the last, or the first and the second place, but it is a very close all around. So coming in at number 1 is HeelKevin with 27 points. And then in a close tie, it came down to the final few points, but Russell's Mania came in at second with 26 points. Big Mike has 23 points and PK has 18 points. And so we are going to take a short break again, and then we're going to jump into the showdown round. All right, we'll see you here shortly. Here we are back for our final showdown round between our top two contenders, HeelKevin and Russell's Mania. Now this final showdown round, each contestant will watch a 15-second clip from the week and they will have 90 seconds to respond. Contestants, are you ready? All right, HeelKevin, you are in first place. Do you want video A or video B?
You know, I never got A's in school, so give me an A right now.
All right, Russell, you'll be watching video B and you'll be going first. Let me get this video loaded up for you.
Oh, man. You get the sensation that Triple H just has a shitload of money and is just buying everything possible to push one guy. But it's going to work because, you know, I think Bray Wyatt, as we all know, he deserves maybe another shot to be as great as he was. I think under the Vince McMahon regime, where Vince didn't know what to do with somebody like him, he was quickly lost. And as a result, Roman Reigns pretty much took over that spot. But now I'm starting to dig into the Bray Wyatt. I thought it was over the top to use QR codes as well as websites to get your point across. But here's the thing. It's about getting the message across. And we're actually going to those sites. We're scanning those QR codes. We're playing those games. We're playing those videos. We know what to expect. What I think that wrestling fans are wondering is which version of Bray Wyatt do we get? Do we get the similar Bray? Do we get the Bray Wyatt that won us over during the pandemic? Do we get the Bray Wyatt with his family? Or do we get a particularly new Bray Wyatt that is just scarier than before, more courageous than before? I am totally loving what's going on. And I feel as it promotes, I think Monday night, he's supposed to show up again, or he might just do another QR code that we have to scan. It's keeping us on our toes as wrestling fans. I love it. I also wish they do it for other wrestlers who need the rub.
All right, good points on your showdown round. And now let's go back to Kevin. Let me load up your video. And now let me show you the video that you will be responding to.
Where do his loyalties lie? And don't forget the classic matches Sting had with Great Muta in the late 80s, early 90s, JR. I remember them very well. The best. And now, the mist! The green mist!
All right, so Kevin, you have 90 seconds. Your time begins. There we go now.
So there's a lot to unpack in this clip. First of all, right off the bat, I'm tired of seeing Darby Allin be a challenging competitor for Brody King. There's no way that is believable. I can understand the upset win or the lucky guy pulls it out, but they have allowed him to absolutely make Brody King look as hard as Charmin toilet paper. Then you got Sting, a guy who also, along with Chris Jericho, has noticeably lost a step. If you go back and watch that match, the points of the match where Brody hits Buddy accidentally, you can tell that Sting was just out of it. His timing was off. It wasn't good. Then let's get to Muta. I think bringing Muta in is just one of those things for the nostalgic fans. I think it's a Band-Aid to a wound that needs stitches. And it's cool for right now, but it's not going to last. It's a flash. And then let's talk about Julia. Julia taking that nasty, nasty bump. They showed Darby being treated. They showed Brody getting treated. Julia took a bump from the apron where she missed the table and the back of her head smacks the pavement and nobody's talking about it. How is Julia doing? Is she okay? Did she get treatment? What is the status of Julie? Because that was a nasty bump. And for them to act like it didn't happen was absolutely ignorant on AEW's part. And Doc Samson ain't winning fan points with anybody since the Matt Hardy situation. And we need to start taking this more seriously. How is Julia?
Yeah, that was my first time seeing that video. And I was like, geez.
Yeah, and so that was definitely the bane of that existence right there. And that was the game, actually. So let's find out who was our winners. Well, I'm going to see the results here. So coming in at number one, it was a 1 point difference. And our winner and new reigning, maybe it's the first episode, but HeelKevin with 33 points.
Yes. Inaugural champion
with 32 points. And honestly, it did come down to the Julia at the end. And that's the luxury of being able to choose your clip. There was definitely more to unpack in one clip than there was the other. However, Russell, I do believe you unpacked a lot in that White Rabbit. I would have felt to see maybe if it wasn't Bray Wyatt's side of it, but if we're all 100% sure it is, I mean, maybe we want to just see a little bit more of the variety. But thank you guys so much. Now we are getting into what the most excited. The only reason Kevin probably played this game, I would imagine, is because the winner of Ring the Bell, they get the final 2 minutes to talk about whatever they want to talk about. And so Kevin, I guess you get the final 2 minutes. I'm sorry, Russell. We are going to stop your video. And now it is all HeelKevin's time. So let me turn on your clock again. Where is it? We'll just give you the 2 minutes here. I will keep track and you'll see it. As HeelKevin, your time starts now.
First off, I just want to say I'm going to be a fighting champion. Anytime Ryan wants to have me, or sorry, Kayfabe, Macho Fan wants to have me back, and you guys think you could step up and get mowed down. I'm just saying. One thing I want to say about Russell's clip, I think Russell had amazing points. I thought he squeaked it out and beat me there. One thing I want to add to that, they have done such a great job of hooking us with this by doing the most minimal effort. What exactly did they do? They got a QR code and they got a website. That's it. They're letting the fans do everything else. We as wrestling fans are not hard to please. Give us a little bit of meat on the hook, put a little bit of bait on the line, and let our imaginations run with it. And that's pretty much what we've been doing. And I absolutely love it. On top of that, guys, everybody you saw on this screen are phenomenal content creators. Shout out to the Macho Fan. I've been saying that a lot lately in my TikTok videos. But shout out to the Macho Fan for all the hard work he does putting this together. This was so much fun. I love the rapid fire format of it. Make sure you follow everybody on this screen. Everybody's screen names are as they appear down below. You got HeelKevin, you got WrestleMania, you got Sock Monkey Mike, and then PK. If you enjoy the content you saw here and you want more of it, follow us on our individual social medias, each and every one of us. Make sure you stay tuned with Macho Fans coming up. And if you enjoyed this show, there's a good chance he could reach out to you and be a part of it. Just follow it, enjoy it, like the content, share it, host it, and who knows, maybe next time you'll be the one to come in first place loser to HeelKevin. I'm just saying. But it's been so much fun. Love talking about wrestling. I love sitting here and bouncing ideas off of each other. And it was such a fun time. Make sure you follow everybody. This isn't about me. I'm not going to plug myself. I'm going to plug everybody. Make sure you follow everybody on the screen because it's such good content. It's such great people, and it's a lot of different communities that you can find yourself in and just having a really, really good time. So make sure you follow everybody.
Ryan, he needs to be disqualified because I'm not Sock Monkey Mike.
I support it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was told Sock Monkey Mike was joining us, and I saw Mike. I thought it was Sock Monkey Mike. I apologize. I couldn't see you past that ugly neon orange.